I'm Jane. Welcome to the Attract Capital webinar series. I'm here today with CEO and founder David Barnett.
Hi everybody.
Hello. Today our webinar title is The Value of Strategic Funding Advice. But before we get started, I understand we had a big anniversary recently.
We did, Jane. We had a very big milestone.
Congratulations, it's wonderful. What are the keys to such longevity?
Well, when you're in business for 25 years, you have to be dedicated to the needs of your customer and give them great service. And that's what we've done. We've gained their trust by doing what's right for them, not necessarily what's best for us.
That sounds wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Jane.
So let's get into it. What is strategic funding advice?
Strategic funding advice is knowing the right capital path and the right financing structure that a company needs at that given moment. It also means that you know exactly what the lender is going to look for in a company when they're considering whether or not to make a loan. So you bring a higher level of awareness as to the structure, as to the options, as to the readiness of the company than they have internally.
Okay, so I assume this is what you do at Attract Capital.
This is what we do. Like, we basically say to our clients, you really need this, you can get this. You're thinking about getting that, but we can get you this. But in order to get this, you have to have all these different things in place. We think like a lender on the front end of their process to get them ready so that they can have a successful funding event.
So smart. So, can you give us an example of non-strategic funding behavior?
We see a lot of non-strategic funding behavior. People just doing deals for the sake of doing deals and not thinking about the long-term impact. People being undisciplined and being almost transactionally desperate, like thinking that they can line up their loan without having their equity solidified is a case in point. I also think that a lot of people, they don't appreciate the cost of the financing as much as they should. If you have to make short-term principal payments as opposed to long-term principal payments, it has a much different risk to the company and to the long-term viability of the business. So we think there's a lot of things that we see that are more transactional than long-term in nature, and that really is what I would say is non-strategic.
Interesting. So finally then, does strategic funding advice pay off for a company?
I mean, I think the 25 years of Attract Capital being business is testament to the fact that strategic funding advice pays off, because frankly, we help companies do things that they cannot do on their own. We give them better funding ideas. We give them the steps they need to take in order to be successful. We give them a lot of transaction support so that they can get to a close. We help build a relationship with the lender. A lot of companies are really great at what they're doing, but they don't have this formula in their resource base, and we kind of bring that to them. So I think it absolutely helps a company long term.
It really sounds fantastic.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. Thank you for joining us today on the Attract Capital webinar series. We'll see you next time.